Chapter 3. John woke to the sterile brightness of a medical bay, the beeping of monitors echoing in his foggy head. He sat up, groaning, and saw two men in chairs across from him. One was his superior, Colonel Henderson, the other a representative from Ashcroft Corporation.
Lana, is she all right?
Lana has been kidnapped, John. Likely by a criminal group or some mercenary faction from the outer planets.
John's heart dropped, his fists clenching.
How do you know it's them?
We analyzed the heat signatures of their ship's engines. Those weren't made on Earth or Mars. Nova Concordia tech, most likely.
The Ashcroft rep leaned forward, his voice calm but cold.
Dr. Sky was a key researcher for us. 20 years ago, the Ashcroft Corporation split, leading to the formation of Nova Concordia. They have their own manufacturing, military, and government now.
John cut him off.
Are you here for a history lesson? Are you going to help me bring her back, or not?
Henderson sighed, clearly uncomfortable.
John, I tried. I really did. But the Admiralty won't authorize you to take your ship and pursue them.
John's eyes flashed with anger.
Damn it, Henderson. You've known me and Lana for years. Is that really the best you can do?
Listen, I can try again in 2 weeks. But if you take your ship out there now, the Admiralty will consider it treason. You know how this works.
Then I resign.
John sat at the bar, nursing his third, or was it fourth, shot of whiskey. The same bar where, just a week or so ago, he and Lana had laughed over pina coladas, their feet up as if the world beyond the station didn't exist. But now, the space next to him was empty, except for the ghost of her laughter, still echoing in his mind. He tilted the glass back, savoring the burn, when a figure slipped onto the stool beside him. A dark-haired woman in a sleek, light leather jacket, her orange-tinted sunglasses catching the dim light, leaned in just enough to let him know she was there.
Don't you think that's enough yet?
John glanced sideways, his voice low and flat.
It's none of your business.
She didn't flinch, instead offering a casual smile that didn't quite reach her eyes.
Such a serious look. Are you always this intense, or is it just me?
John let out a bitter laugh, swirling the amber liquid in his glass.
Let's just say I'm that unlucky bastard you might have seen on the station feeds lately.
Her sunglasses slid down the bridge of her nose just enough to reveal sharp, assessing green eyes.
The guy who got jumped by mercenaries and had his girl snatched. Rough break.
He raised the glass, about to down another shot, then hesitated.
And who are you, anyway?
Name's Athena.
She said, as if her name alone was an answer to questions he hadn't asked. He tipped the glass toward her in a mock toast.
Nice to meet you, Athena. This one's for you, then.
John took the shot, the heat sliding down his throat in a rush. The room seemed to blur around him, and before he could fight it, the weariness of days spent on edge caught up to him. His eyes grew heavy, and moments later he slumped forward, his head resting on the bar, whiskey still burning faintly in his veins. John did not quite remember what exactly happened next, and by the time he stumbled back to his quarters, it was a miracle he even found his ID card to get through the door. He collapsed into bed, barely aware of his surroundings.
A voice broke through the haze.
Lights. Medium strength.
John shot upright, his head spinning. Sitting in a chair across the room was a man he didn't recognize.
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
The stranger smiled, unbothered by John's outburst.
Call me Mr. Darkmoor. And that's not how you greet someone who's here to help.
Help me? How?
I represent an organization with a vested interest in the Nova Concordia. Ever since Ashcroft Corp split, we've been keeping tabs on things out there. What we lack, though, is someone with your skills, Captain Torridon.
John frowned, suspicion creeping into his voice.
So, what? You're offering me a ship?
Not just any ship, Captain. A prototype reconnaissance cruiser. Fast, with experimental tech that's not on the radar of the regular Earth Coalition Navy. In exchange, all we want is that you head out there, secure Nova Concordia alien research data, And while you're at it, save your girlfriend in process. Assuming you make it back alive, of course.
People don't do favors like that without expecting something back. There's always a price.
2 conditions, Captain. First, if you find any alien research data connected to the Nova Concordia, I want it, all of it. Partial downloads, encrypted cores, fragmentary archives, doesn't matter. Second, if by some astronomical fluke you cross paths with Logan Severance, don't kill him. Don't abduct him. Just extract a clean instance of his consciousness.
The man paused, gaze narrowing like the aperture of a sensor array.
My operative will provide the instrumentation. One use, low signature, undetectable to most biometric scrubs. Just aim and trigger. The rest is handled. You won't see me again soon, Captain, but your ship will be waiting in Dock 7 if you decide to join this endeavor. I trust you'll know what to do from there.
And it's time to sleep, Captain.
Within moments, the captain's voice faded, clipped mid-sentence, as if memory itself had betrayed him. Then silence, and the stillness of a man either asleep or already halfway gone. Earth Coalition, military freighter Damocles, asteroid field, en route to Vesta. Alice Aldrin could have been anything. Top of her class, test scores so clean they practically glowed. Everyone figured she'd take the obvious path. Med school, research grant, slow spiral into a tidy, respectable career. Instead, Alice had signed up for the Earth Coalition's military flight academy before her acceptance letters even arrived. She liked speed, she liked noise, and most of all, she liked not doing what everyone expected. Now she was strapped to a contract, flying short-range interceptors for convoy escorts, Mars to Vesta, sometimes back to Ceres if she was lucky. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. She got to fly. She got paid. And occasionally, she got to scare the hell out of some pirate with more bravado than targeting discipline. Her ship, an EC pattern interceptor, was docked inside the hold of the Damocles, a massive bulk freighter carrying crates of military-grade gear bound for the Vesta garrison. A brick of a ship, all thrust in armor, zero finesse, the kind of ride you stuffed full of cargo and prayed didn't get shot at. Alice could fly it if she had to. She could fly anything that moved. The Damocles canteen was half lit and full of pilots in varying states of fatigue, banter, and caffeine. Alice sat wedged between 2 of them, legs stretched under the table, trying to ignore the taste of freeze-dried noodles. Then the hatch hissed open, and Commander Thorne stepped through. The room straightened by instinct.
Pattis, pilots.
Thorne said, flat and clipped.
We're coming up on Vesta.
Everyone nodded. No one smiled.
After we offload, Aldrin stays behind. Couple weeks. Nova Concordia activity's up. Some Merc outfit's been hitting medical freighters. Once the Zeus freighter docks, you'll co-pilot her back to Ceres.
Alice blinked. Just her. No explanation, no apology. Just another job. Thorne turned and left, without waiting for questions. Harry, across the table, groaned.
Shit. They're splitting us up.
Alice leaned back in her chair.
Figures. Just when I was starting to enjoy your charming lack of hygiene.
Ben, their token optimist / smartass, scratched at his jaw.
Is there even anything on Vesta? Besides vacuum and broken dreams?
Alice gave a slow shrug.
Heard a rumor there's some lab down there. Black budget stuff. Maybe mutants.
Harry rolled his eyes.
Right. Mutants. Sure. And maybe they've got dragons too.
Ben grinned.
Hey, if they do, Alice might get a date. You know how she is about weird things with sharp teeth.
She threw a chip at him.
Idiot.
Henry, who mostly kept quiet unless the conversation drifted into history or deep politics, sipped his coffee.
They've got a bar.
He said.
At least one.
Maybe 2 if the station commander hasn't shut them both down.
Alice sighed.
You guys ever been past Vesta?
Harry frowned.
Like out to the Jovian moons?
Ben shook his head.
Nah, that whole region's off the coalition map now. Ever since Nova broke off, it's all do not engage orders. No contracts, no patrols. Older pilots used to run missions out there. Before the split.
Alice nodded, chewing on the thought. She'd always wondered what lay past that invisible line. Henry leaned forward, voice lowering.
Nova Concordia held the outer rim. Earth and Mars tried to muscle them back, but they got their asses handed to them. Nova's ships are faster. Their drives are next-gen, maybe something they stole or built in secret.
Romantic, right? A bunch of rogue engineers and corporate runaways telling Ashford to shove it. The man must have had a stroke when they lost the Jupiter system.
20 years ago, Nova declared themselves independent. Coalition sent fleets. They didn't come back.
Ben's tone shifted, a little more serious now.
There's talk. Pilots on Vesta sometimes get tapped by Black Omega.
That got a few raised eyebrows.
Yeah, supposed to be Coalition Black Ops. Intelligence, sabotage, deep cover stuff. Real hush-hush. People say they've started wars, taken out presidents, done some nasty biowork too.
Sounds like bullshit.
Maybe, but if they tap you, you don't say no. And you don't get to say goodbye either.
Alice didn't respond right away. She just stared into her cup. Vesta. The end of the map, where things got weird. Henry raised his drink.
Well, welcome to Vesta, Alice. The last rock before things stop making sense.
Alice sighed. Dust Haven, Mars, vicinity of Gale Crater. A city stitched into the red valleys of Gale Crater. Detective Dex stood on the 317th floor of the Echoes of Gale, the kind of hotel that served powdered blue caviar and offered orbital views as amenities. Wind howled beyond the transparent terrace shield, soft but constant, the song of thin Martian atmosphere brushing against human hubris. Brad Vexler lay twisted near the edge of the glass barrier, arms splayed, his mouth frozen mid-word, or perhaps mid-regret. A weapons trader with too many enemies and too few precautions. The toxin had done its work with brutal elegance.
The poison was protein-coated,
Dex muttered half to himself. Smart venom. Tailored. Almost intimate. Police drones whirred silently around him, already having completed their full photonic spectral sweep of the room. Every surface had been mapped, every molecule logged. But machines couldn't read motive. Not yet. He turned at the sudden sound of boots, heavy and deliberate, echoing down the corridor. A man emerged, a silhouette that seemed cut from a different century. Long black coat worn over matte black body armor. Wide-brimmed hat dipped low, the faint glint of a plasma shotgun over his back. The man didn't stop at the threshold.
Who the hell are you? This is a sealed crime scene.
Name's Jack Cade, Earth Coalition Federal Marshal.
His voice carried the grit of iron filings and old whiskey. He tipped his hat back just enough to reveal eyes like scorched metal.
You marshals don't usually leave Earth.
Not unless the thing we're hunting justifies it. This woman, she's not just a killer. She's a chapter in a larger story. One I've read before.
Dex frowned. He'd heard of the EC Marshals, their neural transceivers, their mind backup protocols. Officially, they didn't exist. Unofficially, they didn't die. When they were killed, their minds were uploaded to low-orbit satellites ready for resurrection in either clone bodies or metal frames, depending on budget and preference. Dex looked closer. One of Cade's arms whirred slightly when he moved. Cybernetic. But the rest of him looked untouched by time or augmentation, as if he'd survived more out of stubbornness than tech.
What's his name?
He asked, glancing at the dead man.
Brad Vexler, black market arms broker, while the girl escaped on a hoverbike. Witnesses say she was calm.
Calm is a luxury most murders don't spring for.
He stepped past Dex to the glass and stared out at the crater, absorbing it all. Horizon to rim, past the curling edge of the Gale Reservoir. His mind connected invisibly to every public system within range. Surveillance data streamed directly into his cognition. His pupils flicked through light modes like a lens system, adjusting focus. A constellation of digital echoes took shape behind his eyes. Drone footage,
topographic heat maps, movement patterns, and then clarity.
She went southeast, Reservoir Edge. I can trace her from here.
You gonna tell me what this is really about?
No.
That's not how interagency cooperation works.
This isn't cooperation, son. This is gravity.
Sure, and sometimes they fall off balconies. I've seen both.
Without another word, he turned and walked out. Down below, Jack Cade straddled his hoverbike like a gunslinger saddling up under dying suns. Dust curled up in soft gusts as he gunned the engine and followed the invisible thread of Athena's path. By the time he reached the Gale Reservoir's far end, night had fallen. He scanned the abandoned landing pad, thermal decay curves, displacement patterns in the soil, residual EM signatures. His eyes narrowed. He looked up, not with wonder, but calculation.
Some things fall into place no matter how hard you fight it. Martian Flight Administration. Access orbital logs. Query craft docked or hovering over this pad 86 hours ago. Vector data required.
A pause, then the response echoed in his implant.
Beautiful. Series. Always the fun ones end up on ice balls.
Cade's lips curved into something like a smile, though it never reached his eyes. He keyed his wrist pad. Above him, the faint silhouette of his light dropship, Night Raven, began its descent through the pale Martian sky. Dusthaven would be just another forgotten town in his rear view. But Ceres was where more clues waited.